Hello. I'm so excited to be able to share this presentation with the Florida Association for the Gifted. My name is Amanda Beecher, and I'm the Director of Outreach and Contests for COMAP, which is the Consortium for Mathematics and its Applications. We're partnering this video with the Orlando Math Circle. They've been using math modeling to engage students in problem solving and real-world solutions. And some of that work is within COMAP contests, such as the High MCM and Mid MCM. So in this presentation, we're going to talk about what are math circles and what does the Orlando Math Circle do. We're going to talk about what is COMAP. We're going to overview the High MCM and Mid MCM, including some sample problems. But most importantly, we're going to feature some student experiences. Let students tell you in their own words how these experiences have impacted them. And one of the most exciting pieces is to see students that have gone on into college and career to see how this part of their journey had helped impact and laid the foundation for that work. So I'm so excited that you're all here with us today, and I look forward to hearing from you at the end about how to do more of this work. Thank you so much.
Looking back on 2024 to 2025, Orlando Math Circle reached new milestones. From math festivals to leadership training to new partnerships, every step was fueled by our mission, making math playful, meaningful, and accessible for all. And what does that look like in a math circle? On the board, a triangle, 90 degrees, 45 degrees. Working together, students think, test, correct. In school, the teacher might have just shown the steps and had them copy it down. But here, they have to figure it out. The facilitator doesn't give answers, just questions. They build the solution themselves. And that's the point. At the heart of OMC is our commitment to passing knowledge and passion for math on to the next generation. Our Summer Leadership Institute prepared students to become facilitators, ready to guide math circles, lead activities, and inspire their peers through a 2-week program that was engaging, hands-on, and fun, where they built friendships and grew in confidence. And they didn't just train, they stepped up to lead. From summer camp to community events and math festivals, they led discussions and activities, proving that with the right support, young leaders can become inspiring mentors and role models. Our annual events created spaces where math became a celebration. The OMC Winter Family Math Festival turned problem solving into a joyful community experience, bringing students, families, and volunteers together. Throughout the year, competitions and programs gave students opportunities to grow, explore, and share math in new ways. This year, we began a new chapter with the Boys and Girls Club. Through their after-school programs, OMC brought math festivals with hands-on puzzles and games, giving students fun new ways to explore math. This partnership is just beginning, paving the way for regular activities, stronger community ties, and lasting impact. We also introduced new initiatives that turned curiosity into action. The Math Superhero League encouraged students to earn awards by helping friends with math, building both confidence and kindness. Our annual trip to the University of Florida opened doors to STEM, giving students the chance to explore campus life, engage in hands-on activities, and connect with faculty and peers. We hosted multiple screenings of Counted Out, a powerful documentary that shines a light on the nation's math crisis and inspires us all to be part of the solution. And through our collaboration with the Florida Engineering Society, hands-on STEM boxes brought math and engineering together in ways that sparked creativity and innovation. At OMC, we are always learning and growing. We collaborate with Math Circle leaders across the US and abroad, bringing back new ideas and refining best practices. This year, our team trained at the National Math Circle Institute at Notre Dame, joining leaders from across the country to strengthen our skills and bring back fresh ideas for OMC. We also took part in other major gatherings, including the Florida Council of Teachers of Mathematics, the Mathematical Congress of the Americas in Miami, and the MOVES conference in New York City. And our executive director co-authored a new student facilitator guide with the American Institute of Mathematics, helping shape the future of math learning by empowering students to become confident facilitators. None of this would be possible without the support of our sponsors, families, and volunteers. Your generosity and partnership fuel every festival, every circle, and every breakthrough moment of discovery. At Orlando Math Circle, math is more than just numbers. It's community, leadership, and possibility. As we look ahead, we invite you to stay with us, because together we can transform communities, inspire young minds, and leave a legacy that will last for generations.
And now we'll hear from the Executive Director of COMAP exactly what COMAP is.
And thank you all for joining us. Take some time out of your evening or your afternoon, wherever you are, to join us here. And so I just wanted to introduce you to COMAP. COMAP is located, I'll start there. You can see that little dot. We're in Bedford, Massachusetts. If I'm following the arrow right there, just a north, a little northwest of Boston. And it's been around for over 45 years. We've been doing so much more than just contests, and the contests are wonderful, and we love supporting those and seeing what students do on them, but also just working in the space of math modeling education for all these years and developing lots and lots of curriculum. So here on this slide, you'll see just a small sampling of some of those things that we've worked on, right? We have certainly the contests that you may or may not know about. We're excited to share those, more about those and high MCM and mid MCM in particular today, but also other ones for the college, for college students, the International Math Modeling Challenge, and also we have journals, in particular Consortium and UMAP. You see a few little pictures of those more recent issues. Lots of books, modules, other things that you can find on our site, and many of these things at comap.org. So I welcome you to go there, or invite you to go there, and there's free educator memberships, a lot of things that you can access that way. So however, we're really happy you chose to join us this way, but just want you to know there's a whole lot of materials and resources and support for you at COMAP, and hopefully that's what you find here with us today.
So thank you, Ben, for sharing all the wonderful things going on at COMAP and all of the extra resources that we really won't have time to cover in depth here, but are wonderful places to go to help out. So I just wanted to use this opportunity to talk about all of the contests. This webinar in particular is here to talk about the high MCM and mid MCM that lasts over 2 weeks. One of the big questions we get is, do I have to use all 2 weeks? No, it's to allow flexibility. These used to be long weekend contests, and we know for your students and in your life that might not be the right timeline for you. So you need to work with your team to find the right time to meet and to solve these problems. Those teams that do quite well in the high MCM or very well in the mid MCM are then invited to be a part of the IMMC. So that is the International Mathematical Modeling Challenge. This is always very exciting. You get to participate in another contest and get the opportunity to potentially represent the United States on an international competition. So it's really exciting. The top teams there come together and share their solutions. And so it's always wonderful to see so much wonderful modeling and students discussing that work. So that's something that if you do well in this contest, you have the opportunity to continue on. And I also like to talk a little bit about our college contests. This is not just for high school and middle school students, but as you progress on into college or university, then you can participate in the mathematical contest in modeling or the interdisciplinary contest in modeling, and those are held in January or February every year. So those are a great opportunity as well. Of course, today we're here to talk about the high MCM and mid MCM. And that allows for teams of up to 4 students to engage in these really creative modeling problems. For the high MCM, we're really thinking about high school or below. So the middle school students can choose a high school problem if that interests them. But the mid MCM, or problem C as we call it, is restricted to those that are 14 and a half years of age or below. And we do realize that sometimes some high school students are still 14 this time of year, and that is okay as well. There's no limit on the number of teams per school, but there is a registration fee for each of $100. So let's talk a little bit more about the mid MCM. Last year, we had over 70 teams, and so we've had some really interesting problems. This first one at the top represents, we asked students to design a dog park. We gave them some parameters and a plot of land, and it was really creative to see what they thought might be exciting or interesting and how best to use that to entertain a dog park. We asked students a couple years ago how best to navigate a theme park. They had a group of friends that all had different interests and wanted to see different parts and participate in different things. And, you know, the wait times for certain rides are always longer than others. And I think, you know, as coming off a fair season around the county fair season, I experienced that firsthand. So I think some of our students did as well. And last year's question was inspired by the Eras tour, was asking students to plan a tour for a band or artist of their choosing. And so they could really think about what is best for that particular group. Where's the right audience for them? What is success for this? Is it reaching more people or a broader audience or making the most money or, you know, going international, whatever the opportunity was. So it was really neat to see the students' creativity and also how much they love certain bands or artists that really came through. So it was a really, really fun problem. As you can see, we want students to really engage with a very open-ended problem and really think about how to bring their mathematics to it. And so every year we get some really outstanding papers.
Now let's hear from two of the Orlando Math Circle students that participated in the Mid-MCM contest.
Hi, I'm Anushka.
And I'm Amatal. I was first introduced to math modeling through a workshop at Orlando Math Circle. We worked through past problems alongside Orlando Math Circle alumni. It almost reminded me of debate, which is another activity I enjoy. Like in debate, we had to research, write, and think critically to come up with strong, logical arguments.
Yeah, I totally agree. After that summer in-person workshop, we were encouraged to join the middle school math modeling contest, or Mid-MCM. It wasn't like a typical math competition where you just solve equations. Instead, we had to be creative and think about how math applies to real-life situations.
For example, one of the questions we worked on last year asked us to plan a tour for an artist, kind of like we were running a music agency. We had to figure out things like travel routes, venue choices, and costs.
And another fun one from COMAP was about organizing the awards ceremony for the 2024 Paris Olympics. That one really challenged us to think about the logistics and timing.
At Orlando Math Circle, there are so many opportunities to explore math modeling, from workshops and classes to connecting with alumni who've done these contests before.
Working on these problems made me realize how creative math can be. It inspired me to take math modeling classes at Orlando Math Circle with one of our mentors, Dr. Melody Walker. She has a PhD in mathematics and is currently a UFGSK fellow, which is super inspiring.
In the future, we are both excited to keep competing in COMAP contests and continue learning through Orlando Math Circle.
Yeah, math modeling has really helped us see how teamwork and creativity can bring math to life.
Thank you.
And now we'll hear from another Orlando Math Circle alumni about how they brought the math modeling outside of the contests.
After Isabella and I finished doing our math modeling internship with OMC, I actually had the opportunity to volunteer with OMC to teach math modeling to middle schoolers, and it was like a really fun experience. We worked on a problem that summer about designing the optimal dog park, given like a set of real world constraints and specifications. And it was just a really cool way to apply everything that I had learned through teaching, and kind of, it was a great experience, I think, for the middle schoolers to learn how to work on a fun real world problem given some real world constraints, and how to use math to kind of optimize and build the best dog park possible given what the constraints were.
And now we'll hear from Kristen Arney, the High MCM director.
This is my first year as the director of High MCM, my third year involved in the contest, but I've been around COMAP now, it seems like forever. I think this contest is just tremendous. It allows high school students the opportunity to work as a team to solve real world problems and really showcase their modeling skills and their writing skills over the period of 2 weeks. We really try when we write these problems to make them accessible mathematics, high school level mathematics, so it'll be attainable for high school students. So just to give you a sample of some of the things that we've done in the past. So I was really excited about the problems from last year. We had 2 problems. One was modeling the future Olympic Games, and then the impact of high-powered computing. So a sporting event's always really exciting, similar to rock concerts and the Eras Tour. But in the Modeling Future Olympic Games, we asked them to really explore the criteria for the Olympic Games to either adopt a new event or to remove an event. And what would those factors really be? And so discover that before you develop a model to determine which sports should be included in the future. We also asked students then to test recent sports that were added or events that were added or removed, and then propose which events should be added to the games for the future. So it gives them a chance to showcase maybe what they're most excited about in terms of Olympic Games. For high power computing, of course, this is, this is such a critical element of society and something that's an aspect of their everyday lives. And so we wanted them to first explore the utilization of energy and what really goes into high power computing before they build a model to discover the environmental impact of high power computing. Including energy mixes and location and how that would change over time. And then, of course, when we talk about changing over time, right, first assess where we are currently, and then can we forecast into the future with the growth of high power computing, and what will that do throughout with the energy, with renewables, and with that change in growth. For all of these problems that we develop, we really try to scaffold the problem for the students and first target them to understand the scope of the problem, get them to research just a little bit, to open up and to dig in to why we might ask to research and to try to solve such a real world problem. And then we ask them to create a model. So try to answer the question by developing a model and then apply that model to a certain city or to a certain sport or a certain area or certain energy mixes for high power computing, and then expand that model and then reflect on that analysis from the base model and the expanded model, and then finally share that model and its results. So when we say share that model, we mean conclusions, we mean its strengths and weaknesses, but also we really mean a one-page non-technical report to an interested party that would be willing to read that and actually gain some insight into why you solve this problem and how it could impact them. So I think this process really allows the students to delve into the complexity of the model and do a complete modeling process in the course of one contest. And through this, we've come up, they can come up with some really nice solutions. And in the past, we've read some tremendous student solutions.
And now we'll hear from students at the Orlando Math Circle that participated in the High MCM last year.
Hey guys, I'm Matthew.
And I'm Julian.
We're here today to talk about COMAP. So COMAP's a math modeling competition. Essentially, you get data, you get a very small amount of data, and you have to research the rest of the data on your own, and they ask you to model a certain problem.
Yeah, so my experience with COMAP was last year we did what's called the high school mathematical contest in modeling, and we had a group of 4, and we had this really cool opportunity where we could gather a bunch of data and categorize it based on the Olympics, and we had to come up with certain sports that we could potentially include in the Olympics and certain sports that we might not be able to. And the whole point of this math modeling thing is we would come up with our own unique mathematical model through which we could test how well these sports would fit within the Olympics. So, for example, we took the sport flag football and we had it run through the model and we gave it a score and it came out with 85%. And we categorized it through 5 different categories like popularity, gender equity, inclusivity. And through that, we were able to see which sports worked and didn't work, or which sports fit best. And after that, we wrote up this final paper or summary explaining exactly how we did the process. So overall, it's a really cool experience to kind of get a glimpse into the research world and also, work with a team and figure out fun models that we can maybe apply to the real world.
For sure. And the best part of it was just working with other people. When you're doing research on your own, you tend to miss certain things. So it's nice to have someone else who might be able to have a different perspective from you and help you. And nice to assign tasks to people so you don't have to do everything yourself. So very, very fun contests indeed. Well, that's all we have for the COMAP, and we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
And now we'll hear from two students that have moved on into college about how participating in Orlando math circles, and in particular math modeling activities like the contest, have helped their college and career pathways.
Hi, I'm Isabella. I'm a sophomore at Stanford.
Hi, I'm Sharonia. I'm a sophomore at Columbia.
And we actually met in high school. We met at Orlando Math Circle and learned how to do math modeling together. And if not for that, we wouldn't have met and been able to pursue our different careers in STEM in university. We first got introduced to math circles in middle school when we were at a workshop. And that really taught us for the first time that math could be collaborative. And yeah, honestly, for me, it was a very defining experience to be able to know that pursuing something in STEM is actually very welcoming and it's a very community focused pursuit rather than something you do on your own.
Definitely. Yeah, and like we were kind of first introduced to the idea of math modeling as a potential like research or career option when we did our summer internship for math modeling with OMC. And it was just like a really cool experience of getting to like see how stuff in the real world can be represented through math. And if not for that, I don't think it was very pivotal in getting us to doing research with UF with digital twins and modeling like biology with mathematics and computer science.
Yeah, I also think we had the unique opportunity to get to see the applications of what we were learning in a real world setting of applying it to biology. And we're extremely grateful for the opportunity to collaborate with the University of Florida through Orlando Math Circle and really build and actually contribute to research and at such a young age, which was honestly a fantastic opportunity that we're super grateful for.
Definitely. I mean, Orlando Math Circle was kind of the reason that I think both of us are still involved in research to this day, even at like our colleges.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, and
really
I think
helped us focus on like what we want to do for our careers as well.
Yes, Shani and I also went to different high schools growing up, so it's honestly allowed us to develop a friendship that went outside of school, but also built us intellectually as well. So we're super grateful for the opportunity to learn math modeling in the sense that it does provide you an academic experience of knowing the applications of math and also what math can be about, but also on a personal level, it really helped us maintain friendships even coast to coast now.
Yeah, it's really such a great community.
Yeah. And because of this, we've really pursued math in university as well, or at least we really want to pursue math.
Yes. I think without this experience, it was kind of easy to see math as very theoretical. And modeling really takes that to an application kind of sphere.
Yes. I also think we had enough experiences in math to know that we weren't afraid of it in the sense that our collaboration with Orlando Math Circle and the workshops that we did in math modeling really showed us that it's not a very scary field to go into and we shouldn't be concerned. And so, so we just had a lot of positive experiences that made us not be scared of the subject, which I think is really important at a young age.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi.
We're so glad that you joined us so that we could share with you some features of the Orlando Math Circle and math modeling and how the COMAP contests and modeling have helped to shape some of the gifted students in Florida. If you're interested in any of these opportunities, our information's below and we hope you reach out soon. Thank you.